Okay, so first, just take a few breaths and see what you feel. Not necessarily changing anything, just taking note of where your pelvis is, where your low back is, where your ribs are, where your shoulder blades are, your neck and your skull. And now in this position, see if you can breathe more into your back. So feeling the muscles along the sides of your spine pressing into the parasetter. And feeling your ribs just soften into the floor. And now see what it feels like when you breathe more into your chest. And as you exhale, you might feel like your shoulder blades relax a little bit more over the parasetter. You might feel your neck get a little bit longer. You might start to notice how your ribs move out to the side as well. And now we're just going to tuck our chin a little bit. So think of lengthening the neck into the parasetter and then releasing the neck. Tucking that chin slightly and releasing. As though someone is pulling your ears up. And as you do this, you might start to feel a little pull or stretch, even into your mid-back, maybe even into your low back. You might feel your shoulders try to react to this new motion. And try one more, and then relax into what seems like a nice, comfortable position. Now, let's try to do the same thing with your pelvis. You're going to rock it under to flatten out your low back, and then release it. We're not going for large, we're just going for just the pelvis moving. And you can see if one side feels like it's harder to control than the other, or maybe one side of your pelvis is heavier and is pressing into the parasetter a little bit more than the other. So see if you can make the motion even smaller so it seems more even. becomes easier for you, you can start playing with moving through the whole range, going into a posterior tilt and then fully releasing into an anterior tilt. Seeing if you can make the motion as smooth as possible. Do you feel your spine press into the same spot on the parasetter each time? Or does it feel different? Or maybe the timing of one side is a little quicker than the other? After this one, you get to relax into what seems like a comfortable neutral position. You don't want to feel like you're holding necessarily. You want to feel like you're relaxed into the parasetter. Now, let's float the arms up towards the ceiling and see what that does to your rib cage and your shoulder blades on the parasetter. We're just going to open the arms out wide into a T and then lift them right back up to the ceiling. As you do that, see if you can keep all of your ribs attached to the parasetter. See if you can relax your hip flexors. They don't have to work here. Your neck doesn't have to work. It's perfectly in line and nice and supported. Last one. And now you're going to bring one hand up overhead. It's probably going to hit the, there you go. And then bring it back to the front. And then switch to the other side. And just take note of any differences you feel from side to side, what you feel is moving and what seems like it's working really hard. See if you can just allow the shoulder to glide in the socket, keeping the neck and the ribs and the pelvis relatively calm. And do one more set. And then let your hands float down to the floor so they're by your sides. And after doing all that, Take a few deep breaths there and do another little body scan. Just checking in on all the parts you checked in on before. Where do you feel your weight? Where do you feel your breath? And just take one or two more normal breaths. And see how it feels to come up off the paracenter. And see what that feels like when you're upright, or even if you were laying flat on the floor, what that feels like. We didn't do this beforehand, but sometimes it's nice just to see. Can you find a similar position to what you had on the paracenter? We'll hang out like this for about 10 more seconds. And then you can get up and see how you feel.